Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I am Patience. In today's video, we are talking about how to set and accomplish goals. As you can already tell, we are over 1/3 way through 2023. Can you believe that? Time is going by so fast. So this is the year to really change this because we still have this year. You don't have to wait till next year to start making other goals and accomplishing things. You still have this year to still accomplish your New Year's resolution. And I made a video on accomplishing your goals for 2023 and the New Year's resolutions earlier this year. So go check it out if you haven't already. But today we're going to talk specifically about setting and accomplishing goals and making sure that any of the goals that you started with at the beginning of this year, you still keep that in mind and you don't give up on them, and you still set new goals and you work your way through accomplishing it. It is possible. So remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But let's get into this video. Ways to set and accomplish your goals. So starting with number one is deciding on your goals. And it's really important. The key word here is your goals, not somebody else's goals, not somebody else's goals for you, not anybody else's dreams. This is about your goals. So make it specific to you and make sure it's not vague. Don't say, I want to get money, but what money? Like what type of money are you trying to get? Are you trying to get it from your job? Are you trying to get it from a scholarship? Are you trying to get it from an award? What kind of money, right? Everybody just wants to be so vague. Be specific with your goals. Make sure that it means something to you. Ask yourself all those important questions and then decide on the goals that you want to pursue. Don't just be chasing different waterfalls. Everything that comes, you just want to chase it. Make goals and set those goals and make sure that you know that they are goals, and most importantly, make sure that you agree with them. It is what you want, and then you're on your way. Number two is to ask yourself, why is this important to you? And it's better to decide this when you're setting your goals than to make them and then when something difficult comes along, you give up. Because why were they important to you in the first place? You don't know. For an example would be if you're going to college and you're pursuing a degree and then the degree is hard and then you just give up because it's hard. But why was the goal important to you? If let's say you wanted to become a doctor, why was being a doctor important to you? Was it because you wanted to go and cure cancer? You want to go help people? You want to maybe go to a different community, an underserved community, and be their doctor? Why is it important to you? This will make sure that when the hard things comes along, which it would, no matter what goal you're setting, hard things will come along. Even if it's like, I want to eat more in the house, cooking my own food rather than go out and eat. Well, there are days where you're going to be lazy. There are days where you're going to come home tired, where it just seems easier to just order food out or pick something on the way home. And when those come along, you have to remind yourself, why did I decide to eat in the house in the first place? Why did I decide I want to cook my own food and I want to go to a grocery store and not order food online? Why? And this is the big reason, and a big reason that you have to remember when these difficult times come along. Number three is to write it down. Write it down and make sure that it's not just a goal in your head, but on paper. Especially when you're talking about the whys and why the whys are important to you. Make sure to make that emotional attachment. And when you write it down and you can see it and you can read it and you can remember it every time that you need to, it is very important. It changes the game for you. But if you have a goal that's just in your head and you don't actually remember it sometimes, then what's the point? Write it down so that when you accomplish it, and be detailed about it. Be detailed about it. Don't be vague like we talked about. Be detailed. And so when you accomplish it, you can go back, read it, and say, is this what I wanted? And if it is, you would know it because it's what it will be in the writing. Number four is to operate in the realm of realism. I always talk about being realistic in my videos. And I always talk about this because I know the propensity of us to dream big, which is good. It's good to dream big, but sometimes just run into the world of delusion. And denial is not just a river in Egypt, okay? A lot of us roam in there every single day. So make sure that you are operating in the realm of realism. You can have big goals, you can have big dreams, but make sure that your day-to-day action is also realistic. And the reason why it's important to make sure that these goals are realistic is because if you don't accomplish it, you don't want that to take a toll on you, especially if you're trying to make an emotional attachment to it. You don't want it to be effective in a negative way towards you, the way you look at yourself. Make sure that these goals are realistic and that you are ready to get it. Like, you can't have a goal of, oh, I want to be an alien. You're probably not gonna be. There's like a 99.9999999% chance that you probably won't be an alien. The only reason why I don't say 100% is because I don't know everything. Who knows what's out here in this world? But more likely than not, you're not gonna be. So make sure that you are being realistic about your goals. Number 5 is to break them down into actionable steps. Just like anything else in this world, you're gonna have to work towards it. But the way to eat an elephant is not all in one bite, but it's in many different pieces. So make sure that you break it down into actionable steps and that you find a way to accomplish those through those important steps. For example, if you want to go buy a car and drive it, you don't have your license, you have a permit, you don't have anything, you're just starting from scratch. Well, maybe your first one will be to go get a driver's permit, to apply for one. So that will be one of your steps. So your overall goal is there, but that's step 1. And so you put that action, you set an appointment, and then you want to study for the test. So that's another thing. And then maybe you need to go to driving school depending on what state you're in. That's another thing. You have to sign up for driving school, pay for it, go to driving school. And then somebody gonna teach you how to drive, or you're gonna have to pay and make an appointment for somebody else to teach you how to drive, a professional. That's another step. And then you have to set an appointment at the DMV to go take your test. And then you get your provisional or full license, depending on what state you're in. And then you have to save up for your car. And then you have to drive the car, get some car insurance first. But whichever way it is, as you can see, it's one big goal in the future, but there are many actionable steps along the way to get there. So you don't just start up one day and the next day you're driving. You need to make sure that you're following the proper steps, the legal steps especially, if this is one of those cases. But make sure that you break down whatever goes into actionable steps. Let's go back to that eating at home example. If I want to eat at home, what do I have to do? I have to make a food table. Like, what do I want to eat first of all? And when am I cooking this? When am I going to a grocery store? Making sure that I have the money to buy the food, then actually cooking the food, meal prepping over the week, so making sure that I save enough food for the week, and then there you have it. I'm eating at home. Number 6 is for those that you can set specific dates of completion. And I mean this in terms of if that's at the end of the year, this is what I want to accomplish, or if you're in college, maybe you want to graduate in the next 4 years, or if you're a freshman, you just started, that's the end date of that goal. I want to graduate in 4 years with my bachelor's degree. Now that I'm even thinking about pursuing my master's degree, I'm looking to make that goal. I've already put in the actionable steps, and there's an end date I have in mind. If I don't graduate my master's degree in the next however many years that I want to, and then instead, God forbid, it takes me 10 years, nothing is absolutely wrong with that. Nobody's going to kick me out or do something. I don't know, maybe, who knows, maybe they will. Depending on what goal it is, there are some goals that you can be flexible with the timing. Now, there are some that are more detrimental if you don't accomplish it by that time. Many other goals, you can move it around. You don't have to be the most specific in there. Then there are also some goals that, let's say I want to reach financial stability. That's a goal for practically life, because it's not just something that you reach and then you're done. Like a bachelor's degree, you get it, you're done. You keep that bachelor's degree for the rest of your life. Financial stability is not one of those things. It's a day-to-day action that you have to keep doing to stay financially secure and financially stable. Number 7 goes back to the doing, which is that put those actionable steps in your planner. Everybody needs a planner. This is 2023. We can get a planner, physical planner, or you can get your calendar in your phone and put in those dates. Make sure that you're writing things down. Don't just do everything in your head and be like, I'm just a walking notebook. I'm just a walking diary. My head has everything. Don't do that. Instead, motivate yourself by putting those completion dates in your calendar. Put those actionable steps in your calendar. And if you're not, it is a chance to make sure that you are getting closer, or at least in the process of completing that goal. Number 8 is to track progress. And if you do want to set specific days to even track your progress, there are days that I set to check on my budget. There are days that I set to check up on my goals for the year. I don't just make the goals for my year and then don't review them till like the next year, the end of the next year, to see have I accomplished it. Well, how would I know? I didn't revisit it. So if that's the case, make sure that you keep going back. You write down any actionable steps, no matter how small. Because let me tell you, the way you walk 500 miles is to walk one step at a time. So don't neglect anything. If you can put it in the calendar, if you want to put in the calendar, put it in there. That action is important. There's a reason why it's an action. There's a reason why you think it's important. So make sure that it is noted. Number 9 is to make adjustments as needed. Always be flexible. The world is not rigid. People are not rigid. You don't want to be rigid. Things happen all the time. Inconveniences happen. Emergencies happen. People get sick. People die. People fall on hard times. Whichever it is, make sure that you know that most things can be flexible. You don't make yourself so rigid in your goals and accomplishing your goals that if you don't accomplish this goal by the end of this year, something's gonna happen. Make sure they don't do that to yourself. Also, make sure that you ask other people who have, if you do know other people who have accomplished similar goals, ask them how long did it take them. Get to know them. Get some advice. There's so many people out here with so much information and so many life experiences. Use them, okay? Use them. They're there to help you. So make sure that you are putting yourself in that position and that your goals will be accomplished at the end of the year. And number 10 is to make sure that you celebrate and you reward yourself when you accomplish your goals. And we're not going to accomplish every single goal every time we want, everywhere. That's just unrealistic for most people. But for the goals that we do accomplish, we want to reward ourselves. We should want to say nice things to ourselves, feel appreciated by ourselves. Sometimes we're not so kind to ourselves, but you're the only person living with you 24/7, and you will continue to do that for the rest of your life. So people come and go, but you are with you forever. So make sure that when you set your goals and you accomplish your goals, and because these goals are so important to you, be nice to yourself, reward yourself. I am taking the approach now of rewarding myself, buy myself something little. It's nothing grand or expensive, but a token for myself, to myself, to show that I did that, okay? I did that. I accomplished that goal. And even if you don't accomplish that goal, whether it's late or it is not exactly what you want, make sure that even if that happens, you still go ahead and tell yourself, good job. Maybe do better next time, but still good job. Still appreciate yourself for trying, because there are a lot of people who go through life and they never try anything new. So now that you have tried something, and whether you accomplish it or not, you still deserve to be celebrated. So with that, I am bringing this video to a close. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know, how do you set and accomplish goals? Are there any of these things that you'll be implementing? If so, which are they? So thank you. And remember to ring the notification bell, because I post 2 videos a week, on Tuesdays and on Fridays. But until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.